YouTube, how y'all doing, man? Today I'm gonna be checking out this video on the new Dragon Ball forms and why they suck in Super. So this is gonna be like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and yeah, I think for now I'm just thinking those two. He might go in on to other ones, but anyways, let's get into this video. And then yeah, I was gonna watch this video anyways. I was like, might as well make a little reaction, because if it's a good video, why not watch it together, you feel me? So let's do this.
Since the beginning of Dragon Ball, transformations have been vital for the franchise. Many of Dragon Ball's most popular moments involve a character achieving a new form, and like I said, this goes all the way back to the beginning with the Great Ape transformation.
Which, by the way, I like the Great Ape transformation, but you know, after Z, I just didn't. Like, I don't know why, bro. Like, I saw it in GT, I was like, I don't know, bro. You just like Super Saiyan more, bro. Personally, I just like it more.
Piccolo's giant form, and I mean, you could even include Roshi's full power state. But once the idea of a Saiyan was introduced, things went to another level. Now, it wasn't immediate. Saiyans as a concept were introduced at the beginning of the Saiyan saga, and for the entirety of that story, the only transformation we saw from a Saiyan was the Great Ape transformation from...
Yeah, which was cool because this time we saw that you can actually control those Zaru form, which would have been cool if they had like a little mini arc after the Saiyan arc where Goku also tries to master his Ozaru form. That would have been pretty cool. Same with Gohan. That would have been a cool little mini arc, even though like they don't have to be the main power-up for the whole series. But if they had just been the power-ups in the series that, you know what I'm saying, like it was the baby steps to controlling their mind and soul and body and everything, that would have been pretty cool.
From Vegeta and Gohan. Goku did use Kaioken, but that is not a Saiyan specific form. Anyone could learn it. Not sure.
Yeah, so Kaioken is a technique, it's not a form, which, by the way, would have been really cool if, you know, the Earthlings, you know, Earthlings when they came to King Kai's planet, same with Piccolo after they died, if they had learned Kaioken as well, like Tien, Chaozu, Piccolo, even, dude, Piccolo's power scaling would have made more sense in that arc, you know, after he got teleported to Namek, if he had learned Kaioken, in my opinion. And it would have been cool. I don't really like having too many exclusive forms. Like, obviously, the new ones are more exclusive, like UI, Ultra Ego, Orange Piccolo. Those make sense because they're like instinct levels. But with these like transformations and techniques, especially techniques, I just feel like why gatekeep, you know?
Sure why we haven't yet, but still, anyone can learn it. And as the story transitions to Namek, we still haven't seen any new sign of a Saiyan transformation, but don't worry, that'll come soon. In the meantime, we experienced a background character like Zarbon have a transformation, and then as the Z Fighters take on Frieza, he goes through not one, not two, not three, but 4 different forms, and then...
Yeah, which kind of, I can't lie, like after the third one, it got kind of annoying because... Sure, his power level multiplied every single time he transformed. But honestly, though, after the 4th, like, you know, it's like, really, there's too many transformations, dog. Especially the third one. That third one is ugly as hell, boy. Looking like a pencil stick ass boy.
Goku shows up to fight him. But before Goku fought Frieza, Vegeta fought Frieza and lost pretty badly.
And every time this guy would be like, I'm a Super Saiyan, I'm a Super Saiyan, you're defeating the legendary Super Saiyan, kept getting his ass kicked. I know Toriyama was just trying to, you know, reiterate the fact that this form exists, but damn, it got annoying.
Going into the fight, he was supremely confident because he thought himself to be a Super Saiyan, and that is the first sign of it. Once this idea was introduced, everything would change. Now, Toriyama teased us with this concept by making us think Goku was a Super Saiyan at one point, although he wasn't, and then Vegeta, although he wasn't. But once Goku fought Frieza and truly became a Super Saiyan, the floodgates were open.
Yeah, so after this point, Toriyama was just incentivized to keep making new forms where, you know, toys, selling merch, all that. And I think after the first Super Saiyan, like, and I think the forms that had got the most hype anyways were Super Saiyan and Ultra Ego. Or not Ultra Ego, Ultra Instinct. I think those two, the hype that those two forms have gotten is just unrivaled compared to the other forms. Obviously the other forms got a lot of hype and, you know, a lot of, you know, support, but in my opinion, the 2 forms that made the most sense thematically and in the story and just what everything entailed and what everything was building up to, Super Saiyan and Ultra Instinct, personally 2 of my favorites. And I think most people can agree, like, those 2 forms felt the most deserved and and also like Super Saiyan 2, but I just think Super Saiyan's better than Super Saiyan 2, in my opinion, and just the way it flowed in the story.
The constant problem that Dragon Ball would face for years to come had now made itself known. And so as the Z Fighters move on to face the androids, the regular Super Saiyan was still all they had. We had 3 characters who all seemed deserving of having this legendary power. But being humiliated by androids 17 and 18 along with Cell's introduction forced the Saiyans to try to reach a new level of power. A level beyond.
Which was cool. Like, everyone's goal was in the Cell Saga was, alright, now that Super Saiyan's not obsolete, but it's just this form's not going to hold up with the new villains. Now they need to go beyond what they thought their limit was, right? So it was cool. That's why Super Saiyan 2 is actually like the third. If Super Saiyan and Ultra Instinct are the 2 top, then Super Saiyan 2 made the most sense right after. But then after that, it's like, alright, every time they introduced a new form just to fight a new villain, it just felt, less and less like, less hype,
Beyond Super Saiyan. 4 Saiyans went in the hyperbolic time chamber and trained harder than they probably ever have. And all of them came out of the chamber stronger, but still a Super Saiyan. Yes, we did see Super Saiyan grade 2 and grade 3 and even a grade 4.
Yeah, so we saw all the different grades of Super Saiyan, but I don't know, dude. It just didn't felt like it was it, bro. Even Super Saiyan 2, bro, like besides the electricity, bro, obviously visually speaking, the form was okay. It didn't do too much, but I'm just like one of those guys, I like when the form changes a little bit more than just electricity sparkles. But that's just visually speaking. Obviously, thematically, I love how Super Saiyan 2 got introduced and how it was implemented in the story, and it just made most sense.
But none of those power increases truly justified being called a new level of power. Plus, none of those upgrades was enough to beat Cell, and Goku knew that. And that's why he had his 11-year-old son fight for the fate of the world. Because Goku knew that only Gohan could reach that next level of power the other Saiyans couldn't. And when he did, there was no confusion. His look, his aura, the lightning, everything about Gohan after his...
Yeah, so the thing about Super Saiyan 2 that I think in the future arcs it kind of ruined the form for me was just how nonchalant and, like, different energy. Like, dude, you see Gohan here, he's just in his zone. He's like not angry, he's just, you can tell there's a bit of anger on his face, but he's like in the moment, pressuring and calm. And yeah, bro, I think this is the best Super Saiyan 2's ever looked. And obviously after this it just became a joke when Kale and Caulifla just got it just because, tingly feeling in the back thing. But that's just a different problem with Super as a whole. But
power increased against Cell signaled a new form. And although we call it Super Saiyan 2 now, back when it was introduced, Gohan's form was called Super Saiyan Grade 5. At this point in the story...
I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's crazy.
I like what the Saiyan transformations are. I think the different benefits that each grade had was a great touch, and just the overall feeling that becoming stronger as a Saiyan was more of a gradual thing. That yes, a Saiyan can become unbelievably strong, but there are certain steps that they have to take. And a lot of that kind of went out of the window with Super Saiyan 3. I think Super Saiyan...
I liked 3, and I liked that it was the first form that didn't just mean you had an automatic dub in the arc, even though, yeah, the whole point was to show that Goku, like, yo, you can't just leave this shit to your kids, bro, just because your kids aren't where they need to be at in order to be the protectors of Earth just quite yet. Obviously now with Gohan Beast and, seeing that Goten and Trunks actually want to protect the Earth more, with the new, I'd say it's not a retcon, but I'd say it's more just a rewriting of the characters as a whole. I think I like the way the story's headed now, but in the Buu arc, clearly Goku he just wasn't in the spot to leave his kids with all the pressure just yet. And him coming back and trying to at least show that, hey, yo, I'm trying to just leave it up to you guys, and I'm gonna teach you guys all I need to. And then obviously you learn, okay, it's still not enough, right? He still needs to be around for a bit longer. He still needs to just be there to protect his home and his family. And but 3 is still interesting though. I like the fact that this form wasn't this is a new form and he automatically defeats the new villain, boom, story's over. This was cool. This was a change of pace, and I liked it, but obviously I don't like the form all that much. It's not like up there, in the list. the list, you know.
Saiyan 3 has a couple of different problems. The first and most important being that it really can't be used. I mean, Goku and Gotenks have used it, but the form cannot be used for any extended period of time. And that's fine.
Which sucks,
there are many stories where characters have forms that are like last resorts. But the problem with Super Saiyan 3 is that the form has never won. Not against Fat Buu, not against Super Buu, and
which is interesting to think because Super Saiyan 3 technically could have won against Fat Buu if Goku didn't just, hold himself back, but yeah, although the forms got 0 dubs, still exists, still all that.
Not against Kid Buu. And the band-aid that Toriyama used for that was fusion, which I don't think was too effective either. But the other big problem with Super Saiyan 3 is that we don't know exactly how to achieve the form. I mean, we never saw Goku train to achieve the form. But if I were to play devil's advocate, I'd say that Goku probably understands the anatomy of Super Saiyans better than any other character in the series.
Yeah, considering he's like the first one in the series that we know of, anyways, that got it in canon. I don't think there were any other Super Saiyans in canon that we know of. Obviously, the legendary Super Saiyan, but I don't know, a lot of stuff got retconned, right? So, like, the first Super Saiyan God, and then we just found out that it was possible in the Namekian Legends book, or I forgot what it was called, but at the end of the day, bro, Goku's probably the most knowledgeable, so it made the most sense when he showed up with Super Saiyan 3. But overall, though, the form, I think it would have been cool if there was a way to refine Super Saiyan 3, just like how, the other grades of for the Super Saiyan 1, building to Super Saiyan 2, there were different grades of Super Saiyan 1 until they landed on 2, which was a good form. It would have been cool if there was different grades of 3 where, 3 itself sucks, but grade 1 or grade 2 of 3 would have been cool, where it's like, oh, grade 2 means it's not as bad on his energy like the first one, That's what I think anyways, but it would have been cool if they had built on Super Saiyan 3 more in the arc. It is what it is, I guess.
And we see this when he explains the different grades to Gohan. So Goku's understanding, along with having a dead body and being trained by King Kai, okay, yeah, you could talk me into that one. But 2 children? Nah. And I don't even want to get into them being Super Saiyans so fast. That's a whole other problem. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that Super Saiyan...
I don't think it's a problem, because I always just felt like, okay, so you just need to have one person that knows how to do it, and you can just teach the rest, right? But obviously, just because, Goten just out of nowhere pulled out Super Saiyan without having ever, seen, or he might have seen Gohan turn Super Saiyan, but without seeing Gohan ever use the form or, been taught the form and just pulling it out his ass. Yeah, it was funny though. I understand Toriyama just wrote that in there just because it was funny.
Saiyan 3 does not feel like a progression from Super Saiyan 2 in the same way that Super Saiyan 2 was a progression from Super Saiyan 1. And I think that's part of the reason why the form is rarely used in modern Dragon Ball. So by the end of Dragon Ball Z, us readers and watchers saw a number of different forms. We got 14 different forms from the antagonist and 7 different Saiyan transformations. So even though I do think...
Damn, I never put it like that, where even the villains had that many forms. Like, obviously they had progression in their arcs too, the villains too. But no, that's pretty interesting to think about, where, the villains are just, if not actually, they're better than the protagonists. So the protagonists had less growth than the antagonists. If that makes any sense.
I think Super Saiyan 3 was excessive. The Saiyans only had half of the number of transformations of the antagonists they went against. But remember when I said...
Which actually makes a lot of sense. Obviously, now I'm thinking about it. The protagonists having less forms meant, the tension was a lot higher. That's why I think after Perfect Cell arc, or, the Cell arc, it felt a lot more like, when we saw Super Saiyan 3, and then we saw the kids with Super Saiyan, and then it just felt like, okay, everyone's just a god level fighter. The tension wasn't there as much as it was in the Android Saga, in my opinion.
But once Goku fought Frieza and truly became a Super Saiyan, the floodgates were opened. When Battle of Gods came out, that is when things went to a different level. And not because Super Saiyan God was a bad transformation. As a matter of fact, I think it is one of the absolute best in the entire franchise.
Yeah, so this really, this form, I like it. I think it's one of the coolest designs. I know a lot of people don't like that he's like a skinny, lean fighter. In my opinion, that was really cool. That's a different, unique design. Dragon Ball, like, obviously I don't like the other Saiyans in Universe 6, right? Like, I didn't like the new Saiyan designs, but I liked this form specifically because he still looked like he can whoop ass, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like,
gave Goku a new and honestly more interesting path to become stronger. But Super Saiyan God is synonymous with the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. So in the movie after Battle of Gods Resurrection F, Goku and Vegeta get a brand new form.
Now don't get me wrong, Blue is cool, but Blue's just it's like the go-to form that just, you know, it got so overused and it was just so like normalized and just so, I don't know, you just lose like a lot of like the, like you look at Super Saiyan 1 and you still feel like affinity to it, but then when you see Super Saiyan Blue, it just feels I don't know, dude. Just having them get the transformation off screen as well just really killed the form for me personally. I like when you can actually see them unlock the forms, you know, even if it's off screen or even if it's not in like an environment where the tensions are so high. I still like seeing them get the form, bro. That's my headcanon.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. That name is almost as excessive as the Saiyan transformations we were
the
about
names
to
got
get.
really bad.
In 2 movies, we got 2 new forms. That's way too fast. And the gap in power between the 2 is far too wide. Then in the Goku Black Saga, we get Super Saiyan Rose.
Which, why? Like, of course, I know why. They just wanted to sell toys, but still. Too many forms, too quickly, and in my opinion, I just think if they had built on Super Saiyan God more and more, oh, dude, that would have been sick. Because I always believe, like, Super Saiyan God's one of the best forms. Obviously, Super Saiyan 1, Ultra Instinct, God, I think would probably be in my top 3 in that order. And then I think Ultra Ego's pretty cool. And then Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo. That's how I'm just thinking about it.
What the hell? I get trying to make a villain stand out, but man, he's literally Super Saiyan with pink hair. Actually, that's what Super Saiyan Blue is too. A Super Saiyan with blue hair. And when I say
that's it, right? Like, it's crazy to think. It's just, okay, they're just Super Saiyans with different colored hair. It didn't really feel like the forms meant anything, right? There wasn't like an emotional baggage or weight behind the forms.
Say that I'm not just referring to how the form looks, but it's how the form was used. Super Saiyan Blue didn't feel as strong because of how easy Goku and Vegeta could tap into it after such a short time of seeing it. And I forgot to mention, Future Trunks got a new form in here too. And then in the universe,
yeah, and think Future Trunks' Rage form, or his Rage Super Saiyan, is just on par with Zamasu, and I think it was fused to Zamasu as well, so it wasn't even just Zamasu, but that's crazy, bro.
Universal Survival Arc, we get a bunch of new forms again, none more notable than Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct as a concept is form. By far,
built
and
up
I
to
mean
it,
not even close, my
screen.
favorite transformation / technique in Dragon Ball. But how it has been used is infuriating. From mastering it / perfecting it in basically 20 minutes to not being able to maintain the master.
I don't think he mastered. Of course, I understand the silver hair is called Mastered Ultra Instinct, but just because it's called Mastered Ultra Instinct doesn't mean he actually mastered it. Okay, I'm gonna disagree with him on here, but I'm gonna keep watching the video because he might disapprove me in just a second here. So let's keep watching.
Form, then being able to project the Susanoo while in the form, then creating true Ultra Instinct. Then Vegeta, after getting 2 or 3.
Yeah, so true Ultra Instinct is interesting, but obviously I think it's fine in my opinion because it still makes sense to me because the thing is, it's like, you think about it, Saiyan anatomy is violence and rage and destruction, right? It's just in their blood, bro. They're meant to fight, right? So if they have that type of anatomy in their bodies, bro, they can't. It's harder for them to just stay calm at all points and periods. So in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense when Goku can't honestly have MUI as his main form. And I think True UI is actually pretty cool. They could build on that. They still need to flesh it out in my opinion, but we'll see how that goes.
3 different variations of Super Saiyan Blue, he gets Ultra Ego, which is cool, I can't lie. But in the 2 Dragon Ball Super movies, the main...
And my issue with Ultra Ego is off-screen. Oh, it deserved, right? He did deserve a new form just to keep up with Goku, but that's what it felt like. Just a form to keep up with Goku. It didn't feel like the form that Vegeta worked towards, which, I mean, in a way it does, because like Beerus did help him get it, but I don't know. I think they still need to do more with Ultra Ego for me to feel more affinity to it, you know, especially considering, sure, he might have won a little squabble with Granola, but he still lost, bro. Even though the ability is, he takes damage, he gets more powerful, but he still loses. I don't know. They got to do something with Ultra Ego, in my opinion.
Main characters achieve new forms. Broly with his human grade ape form and legendary Super Saiyan, and then Gohan with his beast form. Let's not even talk about Piccolo's 2 new forms. It's just too much. What?
Yeah, so you can also look at it like too many new forms, too fast. But in another way, you could look at it like these characters are actually fodder compared to Goku and Vegeta. It's true, bro. Like, Piccolo would have got stomped by Goku and Vegeta. Gohan wouldn't have gotten stomped, but like compared to UI, yeah, he probably would have. He wouldn't have put up a good fight, right? So the idea wasn't that just to give away forms, just to, you know, sell toys. Obviously, okay, a part of it is, but the other thing is they need to make these characters relevant again, right? Because obviously, if they're gonna have Dragon Ball in the modern day, they have to also find a way to create new villains and have them be more powerful than the ones we've already seen in Z. And then also on top of that, they need to also have all the co-cast be relevant enough to at least be in the same arc and have fighting abilities. So it's not just a problem with necessarily the new forms themselves, it's a problem with the power creep, in my opinion.
Way too much. And the bad part is, I like most of the modern transformations individually way more than I like the ones in Dragon Ball Z. But in Dragon Ball Z, the antagonist would be the one to get 3 or 4 different transformations, and it would be up to the Z fighters to find a way to overcome that. That process often took a little while, and as a reader or watcher, you were unsure on exactly how they were going to get over that hurdle. And there's,
which is true. The antagonists having always being ahead felt like, alright, there's more pressure, there's more this, that, there's more, you know, like, how can they even win this arc? Will they die? Even if they die, it's like, will they get brought back? How will they get brought back? You would think a lot more about, like, how is the story going to progress? You know, there's more curiosity, but then, like, now it's just like, alright, somebody's probably going to get a new form. So I see in that way, just the idea of this many new forms for the protagonists did kind of kill that, like, idea of the pressure and the anxiety you feel reading during the story for the protagonists.
There's still some of that in Dragon Ball Super, but let me just put it to you like this. Earlier in the video, I said that through Dragon Ball Z, Saiyans had 7 different transformations. In Dragon Ball Super, Saiyans had 14 different transformations. Dragon Ball Z is 325 chapters. Dragon Ball Super is 102 chapters.
Keep in mind, Super is monthly, and each chapter is 40 pages minimum, or roughly around there, and 325 chapters for Z, and I'm fairly certain this isn't including original Dragon Ball, which obviously original Dragon Ball manga didn't have a Z. It just went from starting as Kid Goku to the end of the Buu arc, and that was all of Dragon Ball in one go. So, and each page was, each chapter was like 15 to 20 pages, I think. So, yeah, even if you still think about it in that sense, Super still had too many new transformations. But this is, I'm gonna blame it on the power creep, is more so than just the fact that there's this many new transformations. It's my headcanon, because how do you have a series that's already did so much and so well, and how do you follow it up in the modern day? You know, so that's how I see it.
See what I'm saying? And I know Dragon Ball Super is monthly and Z was weekly, but that does not negate that we are seeing too many drastic increases in power far too frequently. Dragon Ball Z through the Buu saga is about 12 to 13 years, and Dragon Ball Super up to now is 5 years, maybe 6. In Dragon Ball Z, the Super Saiyan transformation was used to fight basically from Frieza through the rest of the story. Dragon Ball Super kinda tried that with Super Saiyan Blue, but as said before, Super Saiyan Blue became meaningless quickly. But let's try to be solution based. What can Dragon Ball do to make this better? Because I really like the idea of characters having...
I think now that everyone that's like relevant to the plot has their own instinct level form. So, you know, you got like legendary Super Saiyan Broly, Orange Piccolo, Gohan Beast, UI Goku, and Ultra Ego Vegeta, and then yeah, like, so the main cast that I guess we've always followed in the story, and then also Broly, and then I think Mirror would be cool. I'm just thinking of people for next the next tournament, but no, I think the main cast that we focus on mainly, them having their own transformations and their own paths to power, is really cool. But I think after this point they probably won't have new forms, in my opinion. I think they'll all build on their instinct forms to at least be relative to Beerus level. I think by the end of the story, everyone that we care about will be like around Beerus level, hopefully.
Different ways to get stronger that all kind of look different. As of right now, all I can come up with is giving characters more time with the forms that they do achieve. But I know you all have more in-depth ideas than that, so let me know down in the comments because I'm truly interested in what you all have to say. But with that being said,
leave in the comments of this video too. Do you like the fact that there's this many forms, or do you dislike it, or do you think it's because of the power creep? Let me know.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
I'm gonna hit that sub button, bro. This guy's a good ass YouTuber, bro. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This was my little reaction. Shout out to Big Tune for the video. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that sub button. I'm going to be posting a lot more reactions. I watch this shit anyways. I was like, you know what, bro? Let me start posting it on a little reaction channel. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And you guys have a good one.